Meet the world's first living robots, Xenobots. These tiny blobs, less than a millimeter wide, look like science fiction, but they're very real. Created from frog cells by scientists, Xenobots are neither traditional robots nor classic organisms. They're something completely new, programmable living machines. Here's how they work. Scientists took skin and heart cells from African clawed frog embryos. The skin cells provide structure, and the heart cells, which naturally contract, act like engines. Then, using a supercomputer, they arranged these cells into tiny shapes that could crawl, swim, or even carry small payloads. Once built, the cells started working together automatically, without any microchips, wires, or metal. What makes them so mind-blowing isn't just their size or shape, it's their potential. These little biomachines can heal themselves if they get damaged. Scientists even cut one almost in half, and it stitched itself back together. Try doing that with any other robot. Xenobots can already perform simple tasks like moving around in a petri dish, pushing particles, or working together in swarms. The next step? They might be used to clean up microplastics in oceans, deliver medicine inside the human body, or explore hard-to-reach environments. Since they're made of organic cells, they naturally break down when their job is done, leaving behind no toxic waste. Right now it's all happening inside labs, but the possibilities are endless. Cleaning polluted water, repairing damaged tissues, studying how cells communicate. The door is wide open. Augmented reality is leaving your phone and glasses behind, and heading straight into your eye. Mojo Vision is developing a smart contact lens that looks like a regular lens, but inside it, there's a display smaller than a grain of sand, sensors, motion trackers, and a wireless power system. It's a full microcomputer right on your cornea. This lens doesn't just display visuals, it knows where you're looking and adjusts information accordingly. Need turn-by-turn directions while biking, vital signs while jogging, translations in real time during a conversation? All of it, right there in your field of view, without ever touching a screen. Unlike bulky headsets, Mojo's lens is practically invisible. It's being designed for all-day wear, with a low-energy micro-LED that consumes so little power it can run off a battery thinner than a strand of hair. Engineers are already testing eye-controlled UI navigation and streaming basic text. It's early, but the foundation is set. This lens could replace smartwatches, fitness bands, even smartphones for quick info. A real-time heads-up display integrated into your vision. No layers of hardware. Just one lens and a smarter way to see the world. Think a ride-hailing app is convenient? What if it came with wings? The Lilium Jet, developed in Germany, is one of the world's first electric vertical takeoff and landing or eVTOL aircraft designed for city-to-city travel. It doesn't need a runway, just a flat surface, and within seconds, it lifts off like a drone and flies at over 170 miles per hour. Fully electric, with zero emissions and far less noise than helicopters, it's engineered for short flights with high frequency. The aircraft uses 30 ducted fans embedded in its wings. No exposed propellers, which reduces risk and drag. It can fly around 155 miles on a single charge, enough to connect major cities or skip traffic over large metro areas. Lilium is building more than just an aircraft. They're setting up vertiports, small takeoff hubs that could exist atop parking garages or train stations. The goal is short, affordable flights that beat sitting in gridlock. Early flight tests have been successful, and partnerships are lining up with airports in Europe and the US. Lilium's flying taxi isn't a distant dream, it's a working prototype. The next time you're stuck in rush hour, this could be your way out. Spacecraft are usually built over years by massive teams with thousands of precision parts. Relativity Space looked at that and said, why not just print the whole thing? That's how Terran 1 was born. The first orbital rocket made almost entirely using 3D printing. It's built from aerospace-grade alloys, printed layer by layer using giant robotic arms. Even the engines are printed. This approach cuts down part counts by over 90%, meaning fewer things can go wrong and more flexibility in design. Terran 1 is 110 feet tall, sleek, efficient, and proved itself in a real launch. The biggest breakthrough? Agility. Engineers can now tweak the design digitally, send the file to the printer, and produce a new rocket without building an entirely new factory setup. That's game-changing. The company's next vehicle, Terran R, will be fully reusable and even larger, intended for heavy payloads and deep space missions. The 3D printing method also means rockets could eventually be printed on other planets, using local materials. That's not science fiction, that's the long game. Relativity's goal is to automate aerospace entirely. One printer, one rocket, one massive shift in how we reach orbit. Some cities grow. Xiong'an was built from scratch, with the future in mind. Located south of Beijing, it's China's most ambitious urban experiment. This isn't just about skyscrapers and smart traffic lights. Xiong'an is designed as a living, breathing, high-tech ecosystem. Buildings here are coated in smart glass that adjusts to sunlight, reducing energy use without blinds or curtains. Traffic is managed by AI, garbage moves through underground tunnels, and utilities are monitored by sensors in real time. The entire city is designed to be green, efficient, and data-driven. It's wired beneath the streets, with essential infrastructure placed underground to keep the surface open and walkable. No overhead power lines, no clutter. Public services are linked through cloud platforms, and facial recognition is used for everything from bike rentals to secure building access. And here's the twist. Xiong'an isn't finished. It's still evolving, a blueprint city that governments around the world are watching closely. It may become the first real test of what a fully integrated smart city can actually be. Not just a buzzword, but a functional, futuristic urban model that could set the standard for decades. Forests are vanishing fast, and planting trees by hand just can't keep up. Enter Flash Forest, a Canadian startup using drone swarms to reforest the planet faster than ever before. These drones aren't spraying water or taking photos. They're firing biodegradable seed pods into the ground at incredible speed, tens of thousands of them per day. Each pod is loaded with soil, nutrients, and a precisely chosen mix of native tree species. This isn't a scattergun approach. It's guided by mapping data, soil analysis, and reforestation science. After launch, the drones monitor growth and return for follow-up. One drone team can plant trees up to 10 times faster than traditional crews, and at a fraction of the cost. In minutes, a barren area can be seeded with the foundation for a new forest. Flash Forest has already deployed this system in regions hit by wildfires and deforestation. The plan? Plant over 1 billion trees in the coming decade. It's fast, smart, and scalable. With climate change accelerating, these drones might just give nature the jumpstart it desperately needs, one seed at a time, fired from the sky. Losing a leg no longer means giving up on natural movement. Össur, an Icelandic company, is reshaping prosthetics with a device that doesn't just support the body, it thinks with it. Their smart prosthetic leg uses built-in sensors and artificial intelligence to learn how the user walks, adapts to terrain, and even predicts motion. It's not just reactive, it's proactive. The Power Knee, their most advanced model, has a motor that assists movement, mimicking the natural function of a thigh muscle. Stairs, ramps, uneven paths, it adjusts on the fly. The AI tracks speed, pressure, and angle to customize each step in real time. It's as close as you can get to regaining biological motion. This technology restores more than mobility. It brings back independence, rhythm, and confidence. And it's only getting better. Future models may sync with brain signals directly, making movement even more intuitive. What used to take years of rehabilitation now becomes a natural learning curve for the device itself. A machine that understands its user, not just mechanically but intelligently. This is what the future of prosthetics looks like, quiet, sleek, and seamlessly adaptive. Talking to someone in another language used to mean awkward gestures, phrase books, or relying on translation apps. Now, just speak and let a pocket-sized device handle it in real time. Devices like PocketDoc from Japan and Travis Touch from the Netherlands are bringing instant wearable translation to life. These gadgets support over 80 languages, use advanced AI, and work with both voice and text. You press a button, speak your sentence, and the device instantly responds in the language you choose. No delays, no confusing menus. PocketDoc connects to cloud-based translation engines and even shows text on screen for clarity. Travis Touch goes further by learning user habits over time to improve accuracy. They're already being used in hospitals, airports, and international business meetings. Some models are wearable on lanyards or clips, perfect for travelers, teachers, and emergency workers. This isn't some future concept, it's available, shipping, and making real-world conversations smoother across borders. In a world that's becoming more connected every day, these handheld translators break language barriers not with flashy tech, but with simple, useful design. Real-time global communication in your hand with no internet required in offline mode. That's power in your pocket. They look like something out of a sci-fi movie, but they're real and they're walking. Recent footage leaked from a Chinese military demonstration appears to show soldiers marching in advanced powered exoskeleton suits, turning infantry units into towering, robotic-enhanced giants. The technology behind these suits, a hybrid of hydraulics, AI-powered balance control, and ultralight alloys originally developed for spacewalks. These aren't autonomous robots. They're worn by humans, boosting strength, speed, and endurance while offering full-body protection. This isn't just about brute strength, it's about turning a single unit into a battlefield network. China isn't the only country working on military exotech, but this might be the first large-scale deployment in live exercises. If these suits reach full combat readiness, they could change warfare forever. Restoring sight without a donor? That's now possible. In Israel, biotech company Corneat Vision has developed an artificial cornea that doesn't require human tissue. It's called the Corneat K-Pro, and it's designed to integrate directly into the eye's wall, creating a stable, long-term solution for patients who were previously considered untreatable. Unlike traditional implants, this one doesn't rely on existing corneal tissue, which can be scarred or damaged. Instead, the device bonds with the eye using a nano-textured surface that encourages natural cell growth. In clinical trials, one of the first patients, blind for over a decade, was able to read text and recognize faces within days of the procedure. No donor waiting list, no complex rejection treatments, just a synthetic solution that behaves like the real thing. It's built to last and can be implanted in under an hour. This technology could bring back vision to millions around the world who've lost hope. It's a bold step forward, not just in eye surgery, but in how we think about repairing the human body using engineered materials. What looks like a glowing glass tank is actually one of the most innovative air purifying systems in the world. Developed in Serbia, the Liquid 3 is an urban photobioreactor, a type of artificial tree that absorbs carbon dioxide using microalgae. While a real tree takes years to grow and reach full absorption capacity, Liquid 3 starts working immediately, filtering the surrounding air and releasing clean oxygen. It's especially useful in areas where there's no space for greenery. One of these units performs the CO2 absorption of an adult tree, compact, self-sustaining, and solar-powered. The device is filled with water and algae that consume carbon from the air during photosynthesis, and the whole system is nearly maintenance-free. These liquid trees have been installed in public squares in Belgrade and are already drawing attention for their futuristic design. But this isn't just urban decoration, it's a response to rising pollution levels in cities with limited green space. Clean air, low energy use, zero emissions. It's nature, reimagined for concrete jungles. Space and wood don't usually mix, but Finland is rewriting that rule. WoodsAT is the world's first satellite made primarily of plywood, and it's already made headlines for challenging the norms of aerospace materials. Developed as a research mission, this tiny cube satellite is testing how treated wood behaves in space. The goal? To create sustainable, lightweight, low-cost materials for future satellites. Traditional satellites are made of expensive metals that require heavy shielding. WoodsAT uses birch plywood, vacuum-dried and coated with a special layer to survive in the extreme environment of orbit. Surprisingly, wood has several advantages. It's cheap, easy to work with, and doesn't interfere with radio signals. The mission is backed by the European Space Agency and includes sensors and cameras to monitor the material as it faces solar radiation, vacuum pressure, and temperature swings. If it survives, and so far it's doing well, it could open the door for eco-friendly satellites and even wooden structures in future space stations. It's low-tech meets high orbit, and it's turning heads for all the right reasons. Bees are vanishing, and that's a huge problem. Nearly 1/3 of the food we eat depends on pollination. Enter robo-bees. Tiny flying robots developed by Harvard's Weiss Institute to one day take over the role of real bees. Each robo-bee is smaller than a paperclip, powered by piezoelectric wings that beat around 120 times per second. These little machines can hover, dive, and even stick to surfaces using static electricity. But they're not just drones. The goal is to build swarms of autonomous micro-robots that can work together, pollinate crops, monitor environments, and explore tight spaces where larger machines can't go. Scientists have already achieved controlled flight and underwater operation and are now working on wireless power systems and solar charging. They're still in development, but they represent a possible safety net if natural pollinators continue to decline. More than a curiosity, robo-bees are a warning, and a solution. In a future where entire ecosystems rely on tech backups, these micro-machines could become some of the most important flyers on Earth. In Copenhagen's harbor, something unexpected is floating: public parks. Called Copenhagen Islands, these man-made modular islands are built to bring green space to urban areas, right on the water. Designed by Studio Foxtrot, each island is about 215 square feet, built from recycled wood and floating on pontoons. They can be rearranged, connected, and even moved to new locations as needed. Some have trees, others are made for sunbathing, kayaking, or small performances. These platforms serve as flexible public spaces, but they also address sea level rise and urban congestion. Instead of building up, they build on the water. And since they're modular, cities can experiment with new layouts without permanent construction. It's a mix of sustainability, design, and utility, offering new life to underused harbors. Copenhagen plans to expand the project, and cities around the world are watching closely. This is a floating blueprint for coastal living, where parks can move, grow, and adapt with the city. In the city of Xi'an, China, there's a tower doing something no skyscraper ever did before, cleaning the air. Standing 328 feet tall, this massive structure is the world's largest outdoor air purifier. Built as part of a research project, it works by pulling polluted air into greenhouses at the tower's base, heating it using solar energy, and sending it up through multiple filtration layers. The clean air is then released back into the atmosphere from the top. In early tests, the tower reduced fine particulate matter by up to 19% in a 10 square kilometer area. Inside the greenhouses, solar collectors create a rising air current that pulls in more air from the outside, operating passively without constant power. It's one of the boldest experiments in large-scale urban air treatment. Xi'an, a city known for heavy smog, is using this tower as a test bed for future deployments. The hope is to scale the technology across other polluted cities. It's not just a tower, it's a machine for breathing. One that might be key to surviving megacity life in the decades ahead. The race to connect every corner of Earth is heating up, and OneWeb is right in the middle of it. While SpaceX grabs headlines, OneWeb has quietly launched hundreds of satellites into low Earth orbit, building a global internet network from space. The goal? High-speed internet access anywhere. Deserts, oceans, mountains, even disaster zones. Each satellite is about the size of a washing machine and orbits just 745 miles above Earth, creating a low-latency, high-bandwidth mesh network that can beam connectivity directly to compact ground stations. Unlike traditional towers and cables, OneWeb's system doesn't care about terrain. It's already providing coverage in the Arctic and remote rural areas, with full global service expected soon. This could mean real-time data for ships, planes, remote hospitals, and underserved schools. It could bring internet to places where laying fiber is impossible. And with partnerships forming in aviation, military, and emergency response, the network's potential is huge. It's not just about faster Netflix. This is about leveling the digital playing field for the entire planet. Trains have been around for centuries, but now they're getting a clean energy upgrade. In Germany, the Coradia Island is the world's first passenger train powered entirely by hydrogen fuel cells. It emits nothing but water vapor. No smoke, no carbon, no engine roar. Just quiet, smooth, sustainable motion. These trains can travel over 600 miles on a single tank of hydrogen, making them ideal for non-electrified routes where installing overhead power lines would be expensive. Inside, they look like any modern train. Comfortable seating, digital displays, quiet cabins. But under the hood, they're a glimpse at the future of public transport. The island stores hydrogen in onboard tanks, which is converted into electricity through a fuel cell system. That electricity powers the motors and charges onboard batteries. It's efficient, quiet, and fast to refuel. Germany has already launched a full fleet on regional lines, and more countries are placing orders. As the world pushes for greener transit, hydrogen trains could replace diesel entirely. Clean travel, long range, and no need for massive infrastructure? That's a win on every track. Cracks in concrete may not look like much, but they can destroy roads, bridges, and buildings over time. Now, scientists in the Netherlands have developed a type of self-healing concrete that fixes its own cracks, without human help. The secret? Bacteria. This living concrete is infused with special limestone-producing microbes that lie dormant until water seeps into a crack. Once activated, the bacteria feed on nutrients embedded in the mix and begin producing calcite, a natural sealant that fills the gap. Within days, the crack disappears like it was never there. No crews, no tools, just a concrete that repairs itself. Developed at Delft University of Technology, this innovation could save billions in global infrastructure repair costs. It also extends the lifespan of concrete structures and reduces the environmental impact of rebuilding. Bridges, tunnels, high-rises, anything made of concrete could soon be embedded with biology. This is where construction meets biotechnology, turning materials into active, responsive systems. Buildings that age, adapt, and heal themselves. That's not the future, it's being poured into forms right now. Water scarcity isn't just a problem, it's a crisis affecting nearly a third of the world's population. In coastal Kenya, the town of Kiyunga faced exactly that: salty ocean water on one side, nothing to drink on the other. Then came a breakthrough. Give Power, a nonprofit focused on sustainable energy, installed a solar-powered desalination plant that can turn seawater into safe, drinkable water for thousands, using only the sun. Unlike traditional desalination systems that consume huge amounts of electricity and rely on costly infrastructure, this system uses solar panels and battery storage to run 24/7. It produces around 20,000 gallons of clean water a day. That's enough for drinking, cooking, and basic sanitation for an entire village. The plant uses advanced reverse osmosis filtration, and its design is modular, meaning it can be scaled up or replicated in other coastal communities around the world. No diesel, no pollution, just clean water and clean energy working together. What makes it even more impressive? It runs on almost zero maintenance and was fully deployed in just weeks. In places where access to water means life or death, this kind of tech doesn't just change lives, it saves them. And with sea levels rising and freshwater shrinking, systems like this might soon become the new lifeline for millions. It's a simple solution powered by the most abundant resource we have: sunlight. That's about it. Write in the comments which invention impressed you the most. For more useful information, watch other videos.